What's up, everybody, man? Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome my special guest, man. He happens to be a Rams fan and he does a lot of these draft stuff and other contents, man. Let's welcome my guy, Commission Rhino, man. How's it going?
Man, I'm honored to be on here with me. I'm honored to talk to you about Niners and Rams. You know, this is
Yeah, there's a good history of this rivalry. I don't think it gets enough talked about, man. Like I
oh
think
Lord,
when you go back in time, the 1950s is when they first started the rivalry.
yeah. I just know that the '90s were the death of me because the Niners just freaking throttled every freaking NFC West team there was. It was
Yeah,
a hard 9 years.
yeah, and
Horrible teams.
I think it's still one of the most streak records in football, if I'm mistaken, because I
I think
think you
10,
had
yeah,
a
10 straight
17 game
division
winning
wins. I
streak.
believe. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think for that to be that much dominant is impressive. Like, but I know for some of you Rams fans, it's frustrating because you got owned by us so many years, but then you finally got your two Super Bowls in that 20-year run period, and things are kind of like on the run up. Like 5 years ago, you guys had every bragging right. You guys had every right to talk about that run. I mean, even though some people would say whatever, but you guys did it. But how do you feel about this team going forward, going into this offseason, man? They were just this close. They were close to another run.
Well, they got outcoached. They made some mistakes. I feel really good. A lot needs to happen for this draft. Um, but they're in a good place. They re-signed some safeties and linebackers, middle linebacker or inside linebackers, which they generally don't do. Especially safeties. But having Carnell Lake back and Curl back, that's nice. Especially Carnell Lake. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lake is kind of like your sleeper at
Oh, I
safety,
always
and
call him his dad's name. I'm so yeah, because I grew. I mean, well, you can tell I'm old. So I grew up watching his dad play. So he'll always be Carnell Lake for me for some reason.
oh, because his dad played in the league, huh?
Yeah, played for the Steelers. Yeah,
Oh, okay, so that makes sense. Okay,
yeah.
that's why he's from Pittsburgh. Okay, so I saw this interesting clip of what he said. He says that we have like one of the most takeovers, and he kind of acknowledges that. And he says that he couldn't believe when he went to the stadium against the Niners, like going to
hmm
SoFi. He said that he just never thought these type of boos were for real, man. And he said, "Man,
Well,
says dude, I never seen a takeover like that."
Niners fans travel well, and they do take it over. They do. I mean, every right so. You know,
Yeah,
when the Niners have been dominant all these years, they had the right to be that way.
yeah. When you actually been successful, but the only difference is the Rams have come away with the hardware. The Seattle's have come away with the hardware. I mean, you got to
But
give
not
credit
not
where it's
what
due.
five, not five, right?
Yeah, five, but everybody says they're old, man. Sheesh, man, they're old.
That's a I think that's a younger generation saying that, not my generation.
Yeah, you got to acknowledge the history of it. Like at the same time, like we're in the Super Bowl era, so that still counts. Like
yeah, exactly.
the thing that I kind of get from your fan base on tweets, man, they always try to bring up like, oh, we won this amount of championships since 1999, and you guys haven't won nothing. And I'm like,
Is
what
that
is that? Do y'all try to discredit us? It's like I don't get that part. It's like, okay, you guys did win too. I'll give you that.
it's it's annoying as all hell on my end because I don't get
Yeah,
it. I don't get that, man. You know, I've been watching the Rams since the '70s, so I've been watching the Niners for that long too. You know,
I mean, there was
and
a time.
I've always had utmost respect for the Niners. I know I actually have more family and friends that are Niners fans than Rams fans.
Yeah, but in that period of time in the '70s, you guys were dominating us too. So to be fair, it's kind of been like on one other side. Like in the '70s, you guys had our number, but in the '90s, we were
Yeah,
able to just decimate y'all.
it's always gonna be up and down. It's gonna be ebb and flow. You know,
Yeah,
that's how that. Well, except for the Cardinals, it's generally Niners, Rams, or Seattle.
But the crazy part is, like, we had your guys' number, but you guys have Seattle's number. So it's
Mhm.
like we can't get over them sometimes.
Seattle and Arizona's number, but it,
Arizona to me is like that. It's like that one little child, man. We always try to like give it some hope, but then it just disappoints us. You know, like that one child that has a bright future but throws it away.
yeah, a little bit. But see, okay, with the Cardinals though, because the one thing that they lack that the Rams, Niners, and Seattle have is they have a legit front office and the legit owners. Their owners is not doesn't do right by them.
Yeah. Like the owner Bidwell, like he
Yeah,
doesn't seem to value the like I get the reviews of their facility. They get bad grades for their food and all the other stuff.
but
That's
just
crazy.
the choices he makes, we'll see
Yeah.
now how this year looks. They got a
Well,
lot riding on stuff.
yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to the near future when I go down to the stadium over there. I've been down
Yeah,
State Farm only once, but it's a solid stadium. Like outside of the Tillman statue, which I like, the rest of it's all right. Not my cup of tea, but it's a nice stadium.
I never been.
Oh, it's a pretty decent stadium. Like when you go on tours and stuff, they showed us the guest locker rooms and all the other stuff before. So I was there in 2016. It's a nice stadium, but it's gonna have to be something I'll probably have to look forward to when I go down there. And I've
Yeah,
been down Levi Stadium. I've been down Levi Stadium. I've been down Candlestick Park. I've been down different kind. Actually, I might be more intrigued on checking out Arizona State Stadium.
yeah, I bet.
Yeah, because it's not too far off where I'm going to be moving to.
No.
Because I'd be going to those Fresno State games, man. They're pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
That
don't
is
live
because
too.
you're up in Clovis, right?
Which is not too far off from, because where I'm technically close to is I'm not far off from Fresno State. It's just like you know how like going towards Barstow or something. It's just right down there.
Going towards Barstow. God,
Yeah,
how do you know about Barstow, bro?
it's just a street cross right there. Oh, you're talking about the city Barstow, yeah. Like
Yeah.
no, but it's a street called Barstow.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, it's the street Barstow. It's like there's Barstow. There's like you'll see the street crosses and all that. It connects towards Fresno State. But yeah, Barstow's on the other side of LA.
Barstow is 30 minutes from me in the high
Yeah, and
desert.
it's like
Yeah.
it's known for just like stops. That's it. That's all it's known for. Like when you go on
out
stop or
out here is known for the Del Taco. Actually,
yeah. But
you
I mean,
just
I've been
drive by on the way to Vegas, man.
yeah. It's like a stop trip to go to Vegas. But if you were to go to a trip down Arizona, it would have to be Blythe, which is on the border of Arizona.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, you kind of get where you're coming from. But like you being a fan of the Rams for so many years, like was it like kind of like a thing like for some of your LA fan base where they were just still divided in between when they were in St. Louis, right? Like I know there was a time and period where a lot of your guys' fans weren't on board on that location at the
Yeah.
time. And then they eventually got the football team back.
They they dropped them. They got pissed off. Their panties got in a wad. They got pissed off and said, "I'm not gonna root for them because they moved to St. Louis." You know, it's business.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's business
business.
at the end of the day, but when you think about the Rams, I mean, I'm not trying to make it sound like a disrespectful comparison, but it sounds like a deadbeat father that's been gone for 20 years, and then you expect this to be a makeup time, right? No,
That's
think
pretty
about it. Like
good.
they've been gone 20 years, and you finally get to see. But you get the metaphor of what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
They've been
Oh
gone for
yeah.
20 years.
Yeah. And they think that they thought when they came back and coming back with freaking Jeff Fisher as the freaking head coach, just to lead the first couple years, that's just trash, anyways.
They the
But
police porn stash.
yeah, God.
But he was known for a
But
good defense in Tennessee. That's all he was known for. But he just wasn't quite it.
no, no, he was in antique and thinking in his ways and stuff. But to get back to what you're talking about, it's like I think it's mostly the generation like that were maybe born in the 90s or late 80s. Because most of the people my age I didn't care. I still followed them.
Yeah,
You
there were
know?
some of those old school fans. Like I even
Yeah.
know a guy that happens to be a season ticket guy, but he's from this area, but he usually goes to these games a lot. But he was one of the old school guys that I would bring to church, and he would have the Roman Gabriel jersey. Like he had the Roman Gabriel jersey. He would have like there was a guy that actually had this number, like what is it, number 80? I forget his number, but he had the coolest last name on your guys' team, but known for being durable, like didn't miss a game or nothing. Played on a broken ankle. Played
Jack
with
Youngblood.
yeah, that guy. But I
Yeah.
think he was number
Defensive end.
86,
Yeah.
right? Was it 86 or what was the
87?
number?
That's
What?
87, I believe. Yeah.
One of those numbers. But yeah, he was known for being an Iron Man.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
intrigued by that because there's not many guys who play through that kind of pain. You know, like Fred Warner played through a broken ankle, but not like how Jack Youngblood did.
Yeah. Well, Fred Warner's a beast.
Yeah,
He's special.
yeah, he's played at a very high level. There's plenty of teams that are looking for that next Fred Warner, a guy who can cover. But I'm hearing that Ohio State Sonny Styles is like something similar, if not close enough.
Dude's a stud. He's a cross between Fred Warner and Micah Parsons, I think. If Micah Parsons can cover, then that's how I look at him.
Yeah, when you look at how it's changed, you get a lot of these linebackers who cover more. But in those other days, they used to be more of those sideline physical kind of hits. Not so much, man. You don't get those guys with the neck rolls and all that shit no more.
No hacksaw Jim Reynolds out there.
Oh yeah, that crazy guy, right?
None of that. Nobody like that. Mike Singletary, none of that.
Oh yeah.
You know, Mike Cookley and just the old school 80s and 90s.
Matt Millen had that neck roll too, right? Didn't Matt Millen have it too?
Yeah, I think Bill Romanowski did too.
Romanowski was something else, man. He was crazy.
Well,
he would start fights and stuff.
Yeah, and spit on people.
Yeah, and he was just out of line. But there was always those certain players, like in that era. Like you had a lot of dirty players.
Yeah, it's because the rules were different.
Now they're kind of like taking it away from some players. Like, I mean, you get some dirty players here and there, but I think people are kind of labeling Drake Greenlaw in that category because of his hits and his physicality. Do you kind of like see it that way, or you see how he plays the game?
I don't like he plays the game the right way.
But he gets a lot of calls against him for all those hits, man. Then you see Al Shirer's another guy too from the Texans. He's been getting called a lot of dirty hits.
Okay, they're not doing so they're not doing it on purpose. They're just playing through the whistle.
They're playing through the whistle,
and that's how it should be.
Yeah,
how it should be.
Because the game's gotten softer, is what I could say.
Good Lord.
Like, you can't even put your hands on the quarterback. You might, like, even if you sack him, you got to put him down and put a pillow on the guy.
Could you imagine, let's say, like Joe Montana playing in this era right now?
He would have already dominated this lead, and he wouldn't have been
big time. If Steve Young was in this era, dominating,
yeah. I think Marino would have way better numbers, and I think Marino would have had multiple Super Bowls in this era.
Warren Moon might have gotten the freaking Super Bowl too.
Yeah, because of the way how the league kind of like lets it be. I mean, but if you put, like, with all due respect to Tom Brady, which he's one of the best at the position, of course, but I don't think he would have lasted in the 80s or 90s the way they played. No. Like, when you say the 2000s, yeah, there was a little bit of a physical game, but it wasn't like to the point where they kind of strict the rules. They changed rules because of him.
Yep. Oh, I know.
Yeah,
like as big as a fan I'm of the Rams, I'm about the same as the Raiders too. I've been following both teams for 50 plus years.
Yeah.
So,
but you being a fan from the LA area, like you've seen how it went against you guys. Like for the Raiders, they had the tuck rule and a bunch of other stuff. Yep. Like it's like they have that the world against us mentality.
You've always had that,
Yeah.
We're
But
against the world. We're against the world. They don't like us, and that's kind of
the villains.
the villains, hardcore villains. That's in Al Davis. That's how he instilled it. That's how the coaches. That's how
Yeah.
the alumni instilled it.
Yeah.
So
There's quite a few dudes I've had over the years. Like I've had yeah, Lincoln Kennedy was on he was part of the one guy that was on that Super Bowl run with that team, and they didn't get a chance to because John Gruden knew everything on this team.
yeah,
Which was kind of like sad, but he knew exactly where Gannon was going to throw the ball. He knew
yep.
exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah,
This was like
he
no
even came out and
contest.
said he came out and said that that they didn't change any of the plays, and that's for that Barrett Robbins, the center, went MIA and ended up being diagnosed with bipolar.
And then I think he went missing too, if I'm
Yep,
mistaken.
he went missing. Yeah,
And then I think he sadly just passed away months ago, if I'm mistaken.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because I've already passed away of some because he was locked up and put in some different situation. But yeah, like stuff can change a player's perspective. But yeah, he was on a drug addiction. But when you look back at what the Rams have established, I mean, I feel like the Rams they've always been known to be a good offensive team. But when it comes down to what they are currently, I just feel like the linebacker position has been something they need to work on mostly. But Landman has been like a good addition for you guys. But when you look at like outside of that, I feel like you need another linebacker that can cover.
They devalue the inside linebacker position.
Yeah, they treat it like trash can or something. Like they get it
They
off the
do. I
Dollar
mean, I don't
General.
know. We had Ernest Jones, and hey, good for him. Got All Pro this year, and he deserved that. He balled out. I am not sure what happened with that whole situation. I think they're the Rams and McVay are believers in we instead of we, and so like Cam Akers and him and some of these other players that get traded or released. I think that's the problem is they think more we or me instead of we, because they traded him to Tennessee for a freaking 6th-round draft choice, and Tennessee ended up trading to Seattle for like a 4th or something like that. And then now he's balling, but they devalue it. So
Yeah.
hopefully this year, I'm hoping that they draft Rodriguez
Oh, he's good.
or the kid out of Oregon, Beckner.
Or Betcher, yeah. Are you talking
Yeah,
about that? Yeah. The one that
or
kind of looks like
Trotter.
Oh, you mean the one from Missouri, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
Jeremiah's
dude.
son.
Dude, we're so old back in the day that even his dad was on the lead, bro. That's just how
Yeah,
old, like, dude, because he came in the lead in 1999, if I'm mistaken.
yeah, for
And
the Eagles.
yeah, but his son plays for the Philadelphia Eagles too, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah, one
Where's
says
the
the other
same
son.
exact number.
Yeah,
But he kind of gives you that throwback of what his dad was. So yeah, watching his tape, I like his tape. And then there's another linebacker I do like also. I don't know if you guys would be interested in this guy, but he comes at Oklahoma 6'5". He can cover.
6'5".
Kendall Daniels.
I've seen that name floated around.
Yeah, like they do. Like there's just plays where he can stop the screenplay from happening, or he could diagnose the plays and stop the run. Like I don't know. Like there's interest between the Niners actually wanting this guy because he actually played with Nick Martin at Oklahoma State also, so that could be a connection towards him. So sometimes you get recommendation from these players and all that. But when you look at the Rams, I feel like if they got another legitimate linebacker next to Nate Landman, I feel like the defense is complete in some ways, but there's certain flaws to your secondary. You look at the safety position,
Yeah,
I think
but
it's still one of the weakest spots.
oh no, they Cam Curl was top 5.
But I mean, on some spots, there's spots on where your safety's kind of like I think Quentin Lake tends to get a little beat out of coverage at times. But I feel like your secondary is like you got the Chiefs cornerbacks, which they should help.
I think that's gonna be a major. Now, if the Rams, I would love for them to freaking draft Densor or McCoy at 13, but they won't be there. If not, then I hope they draft the Chris Johnson out of San Diego
Ooh, the
State
guy
in the
from San
second
Diego
round.
State, yeah.
You know that they need a good slot because the two outside corners are good,
Yeah,
but we
like
need a slot because right now Quentin Lake plays the star position, which and I don't know. The defense, I think secondaries are going to look a little bit different because Audrey Pleasant isn't the defensive back coach anymore. Jimmy Lake is, and Jimmy Lake was McDuffie's coach at Washington. So that the secondary is going to have a whole different kind of look. So it's not going to be the same the way it has been. So
yeah,
it's
it's gonna be a little
interesting to
different.
see. That's why they need another like a slot. So let Lake and Curl and the Kitchens come in and do
They're
their thing.
promising. They're
Yeah.
like Kitchens has a lot of upside, like when it comes to getting the turnovers and all that stuff. But then when you look at Curl, he's kind of a guy that makes plays here and there, but
He there's former Buccaneer and then ran Mark Barron. Remember him?
oh yeah, he was a guy that moved the linebacker.
Right. See, Cam Curl kind of plays that kind of mentality because he's good at tackling.
So he's
He
a
can play.
hybrid
He can
player.
play. Yeah, he can play for run support, and while Lake plays the passing support. So if they can shore up that, and they can get, my dream would be Makai Lemon at 13, but I think the Rams trade back
I
to pick
think a perfect
up
slot.
because they have after pick 93, they don't pick again until the 6th round.
Yeah, that's because they gave up some of those draft value picks for some other players. But
Yeah.
when you look at when you look at a slot corner position, like I think it gets devalued for some people, but it's actually a position that needs to be like something seriously like if you guys need a slot corner, I think Pons from like Indiana is quite the perfect mold.
Oh yeah, he's just short,
but he plays that dude. You
plays
want your
tall.
Upton Stell.
Yeah, and see, it's funny because that was one of Rams' weaknesses and has been is crossing routes and tight ends going to the middle of the field. For some reason, they don't cover the middle of the field. It's freaking annoying as all hell.
Yeah, I can see how Kyle Shanahan does open up scheme plays, and that's where you guys struggle the most, and he tends to exploit that a lot.
Because Shanahan's a mad genius, man.
No, but he knows exactly where your guys' weakness is at, and he tries to go after it mostly. But what you're saying, that's one of the most frustrating parts for you as a fan, seeing how they don't fix that area.
I think that's what I'm hoping they do this time around. And I'm hoping with the coaching change and the coaching philosophy, that changes things for him. Yeah, and Shanahan, man, if I didn't have McVay as head coach of Rams, I'd love Shanahan as head coach. He kind of gets a bad rap a little bit. Even my best friend and my son are Niners fans, and they're kind of sick of Shanahan.
Well, like I kind of said to a lot about the fans, like, yeah, man, take away what he's done. I mean, yeah, we all love to win a Super Bowl, of course, but there's a lot of fans, like even Raider fans or any other fan base, like Cowboys, they would want Kyle Shanahan in a heartbeat,
Hell
man.
Yeah,
like,
they would.
If we fire Kyle Shanahan today, bro, there's 20 other teams that would just fire their head coach and get Kyle on a job, bro. Not even
in a heartbeat. He's very good at making the halftime adjustments.
The only downfall on him is just the clock management. That's the only thing I question on him mostly. But outside of that, he's just an offensive genius at times. But he gets a little too stubborn, and when it doesn't work, he tries to stick with it. It's like sometimes that frustrates me a little bit.
Yeah. So, what's your thoughts about Trent Williams getting the extension?
Oh, thoughts on Trent Williams? I think it's just another issue going into next year. I think it's just this is the short-term fix. This is just the stopgap for him right now, but I think next year he's going to do the same exact thing, I think.
And what do you think the Niners are going to go heavy defense to get depth, or do you think they'll that because I think outside looking at it, I think the Niners need like depth at O line too.
Well, okay. Since you're talking about if we're going deep on defense, I think the only deep part on our defense is part of the pass rush. Like, I think getting that edge rusher that can
Mm-hmm.
rotate in, like kind of like what we had with Bryce Huff, who just retired. We need somebody like him. Um,
Why did he
I think
retire?
we can still get a D tackle, but
Yeah.
I don't think we have to go draft one early like some people would say. I think this
No,
draft
no.
class, you do have some nice class of D tackles this year. Like you can get some guys in day 3 and they can plug in and be your rotation
Yeah, this
piece.
this is a very deep class in defensive players. That's
Yeah,
why
especially linebackers.
you're gonna see freaking dogs in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth round.
Oh yeah.
Getting drafted and stuff.
And I'm hearing a lot of speculations that we might even trade D Winters for a draft pick because we might be looking at another linebacker. I don't know if those are true rumors or not, but we'll see.
But yeah, Bethune, right?
Yeah, but
And,
feels like our other backup linebacker. Yeah,
and Greenlaw's
Greenlaw.
back.
Yeah, Greenlaw's back. So D Winters was our starter last year, and I think that kind of ruins his development because of what he did last year. He had 101 tackles. He had like a
Yeah.
pick 6 against the Colts, but this was pretty much the sign for me was if we signed Greenlaw, that would pretty much mean that the development of D Winters was going to be wasted. So I think he's good as gone unless you keep him as an insurance policy for depth piece. That's about it. But he's going to want to be a starter, bro, and he deserves to be a starter. He just needs the opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. What about do you think they'll go tight end? In one of our in my on our Fantasy Ghost channel, we did a mock draft and I mocked Stowers just
Ooh, yeah. No, but like,
to
okay.
the Niners at where you guys are drafting at.
Okay.
I don't think that would happen, but I think I think the Niners probably need to start looking at Kittle's replacement a couple years from now. And
Yeah, but
Tongs is more of a blocking tight end, correct?
yeah, like when you look at guys like Tongs is more of a receiving tight end than he is as a blocker. But then
Oh,
when you
really?
look at Farrell is just a blocking specialist, but he hasn't really quite been as good as a blocker as we hope for. So maybe there's a chance we could move on because it's avoidable on his contract. But when you look at this tight end class, you could make an argument that it's pretty solid this year. Like you can get a day 3 out of a tight end. So if there's a couple tight ends that I feel like would fit well with the Niners, I can give you at least 3 of the guys that I see as potential fits. Like Sam Roush from Stanford is somebody that stands out. He blocks. He does he kind of runs the routes pretty well. And
He's underrated because look
underrated
at the
too.
team.
And then the kid from Texas,
Indris.
Indris. Yeah, that guy is so underrated that he can actually run he can be a mismatch in different ways.
Yeah.
He would be an excellent fit, and he does block too. But here's the one tight end that I don't think anybody's talking about that I feel like doesn't even. I'm surprised he's not even talked about, but he's on a big program too. So I'm thinking, why is Josh Cuevas not even talked about much?
Who?
I'm not getting it. Josh Cuevas he's a good blocking too. He's a good blocking tight end. He breaks tackles. I mean,
What school?
Alabama.
See that name didn't pop up when doing my
Josh Cuevas.
rookie breakdowns.
Well, he's on the list of this year's draft class, but I'm surprised he's not even mentioned. It's like, dude, I like his tape.
Go check out.
Yeah.
Go check out Lake McCree from the Trojans.
Oh yeah, USC. They got that tight end I've heard of. Yeah, but
He's good.
Josh Cuevas.
He's not being talked about. He played. He's being overshadowed by Jacoby Lane and Lemon, and he was hurt. But man, when he plays, he reminds me of Michael Meyer, like a team of Michael Meyer.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like I think he's because you know how some tight ends in college are, they've been underused and they become better, like George Kittle. I think the guy from Georgia is pretty much the same boat. Low production, but a damn good blocker too. So I don't think we're gonna get that guy. But if he's in the 4th round, it would be boneless on our part not to get this guy.
What are the five major needs? Do you think for the Niners?
Okay, 5 major needs. We need a guard. like a guard to play with Trent. Let's see. Edge rusher is probably a need just for the rotation piece. Let's see. Maybe more of a slot receiver, if I'm being honest. Like we can get a slot receiver to to complete our offense. Let's see. Safety. Free safety to me is a big need. I just don't see how you go into the season with Jair Brown at safety. Like his coverage is a liability. You might want to upgrade that. Marquise Siegel showed a little promise, but he's a little inconsistent. I feel like we need to address the safety. I think it's part one of the most underrated needs. The position, like a safety that I like in the draft, is that kid Kilgore from South Carolina, or what's his name, McNeil McWarren from Toledo is pretty good. But
yeah, he was a Senior Bowl. He stood out in the Senior Bowl to me. He caught my eye.
But this may come as a surprise if we're talking about 5 other needs. Like I think getting a number 2 running back might be the solidified need. I mean, Kyle Shanahan has a thing for running backs.
No, because I was going to ask you about that, because how much believe in the coach speak the Shanahan saying that we need to get and hey, fantasy football wise, I'm fading CMC this year, but like football wise, he's one of my favorite running backs.
Yeah,
but man,
he's a complete all-around player.
You can't give him over 400 touches. You can look it up. There's a thing called 370 curse. This goes way back in the 80s.
No, but like
so whenever running back has over 370 touches, they decline. But the Niners,
their body's been taking a toll. Like the more you give them touches, the more their body's going to take a toll. It's like let's say you're working a night shift and you constantly work like more hours. Yeah, your body's going to get wear out. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Especially trust me.
Another position that I feel is a rotation D tackle. I think a D tackle for we need guys who can set the edge a little bit too, but I think we're going into the draft with possibly a couple available, best available options. So I think getting a pass rush would be luxury for us because we already got Mikael Williams, we got Nick Bosa. We just need that one edge rusher, and then you look at the rest of the guys. Maybe a slot receiver would be nice. I don't think we need a legitimate number 1 receiver because we got Mike Evans and we got Ricky who could be the number 2. But if I had to choose a perfect pick scenario for us, if we're going to go wide receiver, I think it's going to have to come down between Denzel Boston. I think he's going to be the perfect fit because in Shanahan's offense, you have to block.
Right.
And if you don't block, you ain't going to get on the field. What I saw from Denzel Boston's tape is he's quite a good blocker.
He's just not a yak machine.
Well, he's kind of he kind of has a little bit of yak ability, but it really depends on how. But he kind of he wins contested catches, and that's what you want. You want a guy who wins. When it comes to the 50 balls, he can get it. And what's a better player to learn from Mike Evans than somebody like Denzel Boston?
Oh, 100%.
You can mold him, and then by next year, if Evans retires, takes that role.
Yeah, he's like my number 6 rated wide receiver out of this class.
I mean, there's a couple wide receivers I do like also, but since we're talking about USC, since you follow that, I like Jacoby Lane a little bit more than Lemons is pure good receiver. He's going to be good for whoever drafts him, but Jacoby Lane for some reason doesn't get enough recognition.
No, and coming out of college, all of a sudden I'm hearing he's gonna be like Mike Williams in Chargers. No, he's not. He's not Mike Williams reincarnated. He just got overshadowed by Lemon, but man, he saved freaking Jordan Maiava's ass a few times catching balls last year for him. And he's contested, just like Boston. He ran what 4.4, 4.5 to 40. He's got good hands. He has a good route tree.
I mean, if there was a receiver that I'd be okay in the second round, I would be fine with him. If we were to go edge rusher, let's say we go with Malachi Lawrence, and if somehow we end up in the 58 pick and Jacoby Lane happens to be at that spot, this wouldn't be a reach at all because this would be a perfect receiver who can learn from Mike Evans and actually And if people don't realize, man, he can block too. Like I've
Yeah.
seen a couple of his block films, and he fits the mold and runs good routes. He's got those long arms, and dude, one thing that I like about him is he makes those one-handed ridiculous catches, bro. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Like it's nobody's business, man.
Yeah, it's like think of like OBJ or Brandon Lloyd if they were 6'4".
Brandon Lloyd.
Just those one-handed catches.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, dude. Anytime we saw what Ricky Pearsall did like a couple years back, I think he did it way better, especially in the red zone.
I think I don't know why people are down talking. Maybe not Niners fans, but people out there are like underappreciating Ricky Pearsall. They're going off what he did last year. He was hurt all last year. You can't go off that. Go off his rookie year to see what he can do. You know, what running back would you want to? And what you don't think James Jordan could be the running back too, RB2?
I think he could be, but it really depends on Kyle, on how Kyle values the position, because he just tends to waste all these draft picks for no reason. I'm hoping that Jordan James gets a chance or Grando, but knowing how Kyle is, he just likes to get another running back.
So what running back would you be stoked about?
Oh, which running back do I think would be a perfect fit for the 49ers?
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
I'm hoping
Seth McCown, something like that.
Somebody who can catch the ball at the backfield, somebody who can actually pass block. But knowing Kyle, he's got this obsession of these fast, speedy running backs, and Mike Washington seems to be the guy he has a thing for right now. So I'm hoping it's not the Isaac Guerrero. I'm hoping it's not the Guerrero situation where it's kind of like, oh, here we go again with this crush day, man. God. I think Kyle needs to take a vacation and stay away from the draft room and let these guys do the draft.
That's funny.
He has a thing for the running backs, but then I think realistically we should just get one undrafted because I don't think it matters who we get as an undrafted running back. They still have a chance to make the roster and they still become a plug-and-play guy.
Yeah, I mean, because like all injuries, you guys are pulling people freaking off people's practice squad last year, correct?
Yeah, we had some guys off the practice squad last year.
Your team.
There was a lot of the guys who came off the injuries, and we were going through some backups throughout the season too. And the fact that we beat you guys on a short week with these guys, bro, I don't know, crazy.
Well, it's good coaching, man.
No, but just you as a fan, it has to be shocking that we only had maybe very little percentage of our starters out there, and we just had some of the backups mostly.
Nothing shocks me anymore.
Nah.
No, just because when you have a good coach like that, and you have the players, they play up, to everything.
Absolutely, but
and the Rams players probably looked at what the situation. And kind of shrugged it off like we got this. It's gonna be a cakewalk. You can't do that. Can't.
If they would have took
it, freaking divisional rivals.
Yeah, even some of your fan base would even say they even said even with the injuries with the Niners, we can't take them lightly because they give us the most problems. Even when it was in 2024, we were still giving you guys problems. So it wasn't like. The only reason why y'all beat us the last meeting was because, man, we only could do so much, and you guys were able to capitalize out of it. So I wouldn't say, you guys did what you had to do.
As bad as your defense was, it's hard for anything. Just like with 2021, the Rams O-line was just decimated. They couldn't do nothing right.
Yeah.
If you're not, if both our teams, I'll just say that, don't draft for depth and have good people that can be the next man up, carrying over, then I don't care what NFL team it is, they're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going through your first string, your second string, your third string.
I mean, you got to have at least the guys who can step in and play. So they got to know, if injuries happen at the position, I think replacing offensive line is not the easiest position to overcome because it's rare to replace a starting caliber. You might want to get somebody decent, but even with decent, bro, you're going to face better defenders, and they're going to have their way against these average players.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Rams do. They need to draft a tackle because
So let me ask you an honest question, and you as a Rams fan, what do you feel like the Rams need to address in the first round? Like, let's say you're less need. What do you think they need to address? Like a slot receiver, a tackle, a DB, or what?
I think they need a plan for the future. Get a tackle.
So a tackle.
Yeah, just because there's a tackle or the guard Eloni.
Oh yeah, the guy from Penn State.
Yeah, because you have Steve Avella, Colton Shelton, and Dotson.
Are you pretty high on
Dotson, but you have Colton Shelton. We have Steve Avella on contract. This is the last year.
Okay.
And I think Alec Jackson too.
Yeah, he's another guy.
We're good at right tackle. McClendon did good. He did good stepping in. So we're good at right tackle, but we need guard or tackle. Or a swing guard.
How confident do you feel about Warren McClendon? Because I mean, I've seen like some fans have some high hopes on him in a little bit.
Yeah, I feel good with them.
Yeah, because I know I know when he was starting in place of
Havenstein.
Yeah, when he started in place of him, he had like a little struggle against us. But then the following games, he started getting better down the stretch. But
yeah,
I think some of the fans are too confident to the point where they don't feel like you guys need to go draft one early. So I guess maybe a DB would probably be your option because you want to improve your secondary. You want to be able to cover on JSN and quite a few other guys.
Yeah, DB, offensive line, wide receiver. I think even like offensive line, they can get what's the kid from Iowa, Decker, has the red head, the mullet.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Gettings Dunker. Oh,
Dunker.
That dude looks like he looks like a perfect mullet for the commercial, dude. Like,
yeah. And they can get him in the second round and get.
There's two of the Iowa linemen. Like, there's two of them, and there's a center, right? So you got two of them who could play guard from Iowa, and then you got one at center, Logan Jones. So it's like you got Bo Stevens, who I think probably would get drafted later, but you can't go wrong with Iowa offensive linemen because they're well coached.
Mm-hmm, exactly. You get him in the second round.
So if there was an offensive lineman that I'd be okay with, I don't think we really need to draft one early. We just need to get a guy who can plug in and play. Like, do we really need to get a tackle for Trent Williams when we already got a swing tackle? We got this guy from the Patriots. So he's played some games where he kind of stepped in for those injuries. Getting a plug-and-play guy, like the guy from Oklahoma would be the perfect player that we can draft. What's his name? Fabachi Owusu.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that guy, he could play guard and center. So you solve two problems all at once. So he can be the guy that can plug in at guard for this year. And if they feel so confident with him moving forward, they can stay with him at guard, or he can be the guy to replace Jake Brendel because his contract will be running up pretty soon.
Yeah, I think if all the receivers are off the table, pick 13, I can see the Rams trading back, picking up a third or fourth and fifth round draft pick, maybe another second, move back. They could still get I'd like to get Omar Cooper or Concepcion.
That would be exactly your ideal spot. Yeah, you might want to get those guys, but you want to make sure you get them at a perfect spot.
Exactly.
Because even if you guys do draft the Cooper, I can understand why he would be drafted high because he played for a national championship team, but you want to get the better value pick where he's at.
Yeah. At 17, I mean, I've seen where Detroit coming in, the Steelers coming in at 21 to move up for Tyler Simpson. What's your thoughts on Tyler Simpson?
You mean the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
I think it comes down to Pittsburgh possibly want to draft him, or either the Cardinals can move up into the late first round and the move because Cardinals, they don't have a quarterback long term right now. So
no.
Jacoby Brissett holding out doesn't really make a strong case for him to stick around. Man, he's a bridge
I can
quarterback.
understand. I can understand it though. I mean, he needs a little bit more than $9 million.
But he needs money, of course. I get that he wants to get the starter money, which I get it, but he's the bridge quarterback, so I guess he gets Cardinals have no problem paying him that money. But I think in the long term, they need somebody like Ty Simpson that would fit well into LaFleur's offense.
Yeah, but so if they do that, and the Rams need to figure out the backup quarterback because Jimmy G retired today.
I heard he might be retiring now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good for
so
him.
I thought Rams
So
had
that leaves we have no quarterback beyond Stafford right now.
So so this is what I heard going into free agency, man. I heard the Rams actually had interest of Kirk Cousins. Any truth to that or no?
Yeah, a lot of truth to that.
Man, that would have made a lot of sense to back up from there. Like, imagine those two quarterbacks in the same team. Like, both of them were good in their decades together, right?
Yeah, well, but Cousins is still older, and he went with Kubiak because he played with Kubiak for 3 years at Minnesota, so familiar with it, and he will start. I don't know how many games he'll start, but he'll start the season. They're not going to rush. They're not going to rush Mendoza in.
Yeah, they're going to let Mendoza be like. They're not going to put Mendoza in the fire. Not like that, no.
So I'm hoping Rams draft. I like Drew Aller, and I like Nussmeier.
That will be like your developmental quarterback right there. Yeah.
Just 1 year behind Stafford, man. You're good.
But I think next year you got a good selection of draft picks too. So like selection of good quarterbacks coming out. This year's quarterback class just sucks.
It does, but okay. So I think the 2026 class is going to come back, especially the running backs. I think it's going to come back. Maybe not spectacular, but they're going to come back saying, "Damn, this is actually a pretty good freaking class."
Yeah, but this
Drew
class
is a good court. Yeah, this class.
But this class seems underwhelming this year. Like you got good linebacker. This is a good linebacker class. Mm-hmm. The pass rush is solid. The receiving class I like, but as far as offensive line, it's good. But you look at the quarterback position, it sucks. You look at let's see, another position like. There's a couple of areas of positions that I feel like is overwhelming. Like when you look at pass rushers, maybe in the third round you get your values, but after that it drops.
Most of these quarterbacks need to sit for a year.
Yeah.
So I'll trust Drew Aller or Nussmeier behind Stafford for a year.
So you don't have no faith in Stetson Bennett?
No.
Man, he's the perfect example. He's the perfect example of living the American dream. A high school dropout, went to Georgia, played for 7 years, a national championship twice, right? And hey, he plays for the LA Rams, plays the dream, right?
Yeah. Then you hear the rhetoric of, "Oh, he's looked good. He's looked good in preseason against third and fourth string freaking teams, players. Of course, he's looked good." It's the same thing they're saying about J.J. McCarthy, his rookie season. Oh, he looked good. Oh, he looked good because he's playing against freaking third and fourth string freaking players.
Yeah, we don't have a clear idea of what to expect. No. Like we're just like you gotta wait and see what happens this season to see how it plays out.
I mean, not everybody has the luxury of having a Mac Jones as a backup quarterback.
Having Mac Jones to me is underrated as a backup. Yeah,
big time.
I think it's still viable because of what happened last year was Purdy missed significantly half the season, and you could have gone into the season with a losing record, but instead he kept the team as afloat.
It afforded the Niners to be able to have Purdy get totally 100% and not rush him back, and that's just priceless, dude.
Yeah,
not too many teams had that. I mean, look at the freaking Bengals last year. Browning.
They were a disaster. Yeah.
Until they got Flacco,
Yeah, even Flacco didn't save them, but still, it was better than
nothing. Too far gone by then,
Yeah. But yeah, bro, we pretty much got everything we wanted to cover, bro. Maybe down the road we'll figure out something.
Yeah.
We had a good conversation. I know you got some stuff to do, man. I know you got a good platform. I checked it out. You and your two co-hosts do a good show, man. But tell everybody where they can find your social media platform.
I'm with Commissioner Rhino on X and Fantasy Goats on YouTube channel. We do any and all things fantasy football wise.
Oh yeah, and for everybody else, man, go check them out, man. The Goat Fantasy YouTube channel. Man, Commissioner Rhino, man, we had a lot of good time. We'll figure out something. Maybe in the
Yeah.
upcoming season, we can talk about the Niners and Rams if you're open to that.
Of course, dude. This is fun. I
Hey, why
appreciate you
not
having me
talk
on,
to an
bro.
old school fan that knows the history of the team more than anybody? You more like the historian, right? So you got to at least have a better knowledge of
I'm yeah, I could go on. I've been going on a tangent, but it's
Oh,
okay.
man, dude.
I love
I can
football,
tell.
bro. Love football.
I know, man. I could tell, man. You like the professor, you like the historian, man. You got all that knowledge, brother. But keep it up, bro. I see that you
And
do a lot of
just so
these
you
draft
know,
stuff.
to the right and to the left of me, I have this giant freaking Joe Montana
Oh,
print.
shoot. Oh, let me show you an interesting picture I have like a while back. I mean, I was at a football camp, so I met one of your Ram players a while back. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I'll show you a quick picture. Let's see. Let's see if you know who this guy is. Let's see. Hold up. Gotta find it. Okay. Tell me who this is.
That's like Devontae.
No, it's not. He used to be the running back for you guys.
Was that Todd Gurley?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
You thought it was Devontae?
I saw the hair, bro.
Oh, the
And the same skinny face.
That's Todd Gurley, bro. But
that's sweet.
He was a cool dude at a football camp. He took a couple seconds and said, "What the heck, man? Go ahead, take a picture."
Nice.
Yeah, man. But hey, man, we had a good time. We'll definitely catch up, man. Looking forward to the upcoming season. I'll definitely get a good idea of what the draft is going to be on Thursday and going into Saturday, man. So hey, man,
I'm sure we'll be talking back and forth on the
yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it too. And for everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in.